Hey guys, welcome to our review of My Hero Academia, episode 30. I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
Makotoa.
Dude, welcome back. It seems that you and I are the only ones here normally. But hey, that's great. We are back on track with this new episode, and it was a nice breather.
It was a nice breather, but
slow-paced breather.
But surprisingly, we got a lot of content. We got a lot going on.
Definitely.
Whole lot of different stuff going on.
This really set me up for this didn't set me up to want more action. This set me up to definitely want more talking to happen.
Yeah.
Especially in the way of Gran Torino talking to All Might.
Mm-hmm.
Telling him he needs to tell Midoriya about how his powers came to be.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for that tease. I'm super excited.
Yep.
What were your biggest takeaways this episode?
Okay, so the first big thing just so happened to happen like almost at the very beginning.
Yes.
I mean, first we see like a news chopper like seemingly catch a glimpse at the League of Villain people and all that jazz. Yeah. But like the thing I'm getting, shut up. So the police officer is a dog. That's great. You know, I was very pleasantly surprised to see that. That was wonderful. But the news he had to give was upsetting, like genuinely upsetting to me, because it shows that this world has some, I don't know, in my opinion, some screwed up kind of like laws going on, because I don't understand why they would be in trouble for what is in our world self-defense. Like you try and defend yourself or another human being from being killed, and suddenly now you're in trouble. How does that freaking work?
I feel like that's more like probably reflective of Japanese politics or something.
I don't know.
Either way, like I get it. The politics there are pretty restrictive, but then again, it makes sense, since like such a big thing happening would have propelled them so far beyond what they're actually capable of so far. Like this show has it moves pretty quick, but it feels like it has such a slow burn that it makes sense that this fight was immediately just swept under the rugs.
I understand that, like, this is a big event, so why aren't they getting more credit? Like, that kind of thing, to keep it from moving too quickly and them getting into the spotlight in the world too much. But at the same time, like, don't give me this kind of BS that, like, you can't like, defend yourself in this kind of world. Like, okay, maybe I understand if you're trying to punish Ida because he went rogue for a moment there. I don't know if they know that or not, but like what he did, yeah, that was reckless and not okay. But what Todoroki and Midoriya did, how in the world is that punishable? That doesn't.
Okay, well, think of it from the government side. They need to regulate and keep in mind, like, powers are somewhat of a new thing, and when new sort of, I mean, like, internet, the internet is the most recent sort of technology that not many laws have a good grasp on it. That's why laws are trying to be passed that really, I guess, crack down on a lot of what makes the internet useful. So I feel like we're kind of in the early stages of the government sort of reacting to superpowers. Like, oh shoot, we need to regulate this somehow in order to make the public feel safe. Right? And so what they did was basically, I guess you'd say, use excessive force because they are at such a low level. Like, it wasn't cleared by their elders. You know what I mean?
I guess.
Since they are interns, they aren't allowed to use a greater amount of force, because it was pretty deadly, and had someone been killed, had it gone south, like Doggy Kruger said.
Doggy Kruger.
Yeah. Like he said, his name's not Doggy Kruger, by the way. I'm making a Deca Ranger joke. Like he said, should the laws just be, well, what was it that he said? Like, since it went well, do you think we should bend the rules? But, like, the thing is, if it does go south, those laws, that's what those laws are in place for. And, see, if the heroes aren't trained properly, and if you're an intern, right, you don't know how well these heroes are trained. The Mr. Dogman acknowledged that they did well and they performed admirably. Yes. But the thing is, the laws in place will not allow that to, aren't allowing that to be the norm, if that's the case. Because if you give such high level clearance to low level heroes, they might have free reign to do something too dangerous.
I don't know. I think that last part isn't, once you're a hero, I think you have the legality of it. It's just,
but they're not.
Well, yeah, they aren't at all. So, I mean, even though they were in the internship, I still think that the internship should have at least given them some extra credibility or something. But okay, for the sake of whatever this world goes, and also for the plot, I mean,
also, again, it's early days of superhero law, right? So it can't be perfect. Our laws aren't perfect.
I mean, I guess that's what brought Stain into the business of villainy, and we can touch on that later. But I will. I just want to end it.
Yeah,
with...
touch the stain.
I just want to end my feelings on this situation with, I'm completely on the side of Todoroki and how he was feeling in that moment. His reactions were my reactions.
I was pissed too, but it comes from an understanding hey, the law isn't perfect, right? It has to crack it's more broad strokes than fine details, because fine details take too long. Okay. Broad strokes get the quick fix done.
Okay, so
that's just how it has to work right now, especially with the emerging political system for heroes, I'm assuming.
And so we kind of gave him an ultimatum that, pretty much you can either take the punishment, but all the glory that comes along with it, apparently, because people would see your brave deeds and in the public eye, or you could just have it under wraps. No one will know what you did, but you're not going to get reprimanded for it. And obviously,
unsurprisingly,
they're going to take the nothing happened type scenario, which makes complete sense. And that kind of it perpetuates our heroes are still not quite gonna get into the limelight just yet like that. So but shouldn't be expected.
For the audience, it really helps serve in terms of camaraderie. Between these three, they have this moment of glory and heroism that they performed together. There's some sort of bond that's formed between them with this
I
development.
I love the little joke at the end too.
Oh yeah, the cursed hands or whatever.
Yeah, that he's everybody
I'm like a hand crusher.
Everybody he gets entangled with, he's just somehow their hands get damaged or something like that. Feels guilty about it, but I love that their little dynamic. Oh, before we leave that situation, because there was another bit of information we got while they were in the hospital, and that was the injury that was
yes.
Ida's injury that apparently might be permanent or
are these really the repercussions? Are these really the repercussions?
What do you
mean?
So
the last episode, I was bothered that we led in on that arc, the whole Stain arc, with this is the moment that I regret for the rest of my life or something, not telling Ida more earnestly to tell us if there's a problem. Is it really just this? I mean, like, they played it up pretty seriously, and I get it. It's pretty devastating.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, he was immediately okay with it. I'm pretty sure his powers of running will more than make up for it. I mean, will this weakness come to bite him in the butt later and ultimately
Could be. It really could.
finish him?
That might
It
be.
could, yeah, definitely.
Or make it so that he can't save somebody else and it just, like,
Yeah.
devastates him or something. Who knows? But, like...
But as it stands,
yeah.
yeah, not feeling it yet.
There
not
was
feeling it yet.
It was a little bit melodramatic on Midoriya's part to be saying that, unless, like, somewhere further down the road we are gonna get something that's gonna come back. But, like,
yeah, no, but, like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
This episode really cemented for me that, like, hey, they remembered that. I mean, like, obviously they know the story that they're putting out already.
Mm-hmm.
So they keep tabs on this.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that this will come back.
Okay.
Because this show is so good at taking things, bringing things back, seeding things in order to make that compound later on.
Taking good care of itself. Let's go in. Should we go into the brief moments we had with the other characters, or should we talk about the...
Well, I want to quickly touch on All Might's amazing ringtone. Hey, you have a call. Hey, you have a call.
I kid you not. My uncle has a ringtone of himself saying, "Pick up the phone." Hey, pick up the phone.
Goodness.
No, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. Yeah.
That's incredible. I think I need that.
So annoying, but
oh, that's amazing. That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. I need that.
Yeah.
I need that in my life.
Yeah. But yeah, his phone call, that was a very that's like plot details that are gonna be very important.
Yeah.
Very soon.
We touched on this earlier, but I'm excited for more talking. I can't wait for more talking between. I mean, it's gonna be super dramatic and played up, and I can't wait to see the backstory. I feel like a lot of this is lost on modern superhero stuff because we always start with the origin. I mean, you can't not do that.
Okay.
But starting in the middle of the story where it's the most where you've got the most action going on, and then go back and sort of tell that story behind it,
Yeah.
I mean, technically we did start with an origin, but we did start in the middle of a more full story.
Yeah,
so
world
I do
that's
like
already
that.
had some events going on. It's kind of like Star Wars in the sense that they're like, you were in the Clone Wars?
Yeah. It's a universe that's been lived in already.
Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting seeing who, I guess finding out who All Might's previous, I guess mentor was, or the one who passed down One for All to him.
Speaking of One for All, we get the reveal that the power that killed, not the power, but the guy that has killed All Might's predecessor and left a big hole in his chest, his power is all for one.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So I'm guessing that's how he absorbs powers, and maybe, just maybe, that's how he absorbed All Might's powers.
Could be.
And the rest of his stomach. But All Might did say he delivered a pretty hefty blow to him. So
I mean, he said how I can't imagine
there.
a world where he survived that injury or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, at this point, it's pretty obvious that we're leading to this guy probably still being alive and pulling the strings. Which I mean, okay. I do think that the way they're weaving it is pretty cool. It felt a little bit like, oh, would villains all around really be like looking up Stain as like their inspiration to suddenly go to the League of Villains? I didn't even know the League of Villains had like publicly announced itself. How did people even know about it, honestly?
It's not them publicly announcing itself. It was all the reports around the initial incident with the UA students.
Okay.
And on top of that, I I can't wait to see what our quote unquote main villain, Mr. Facepalm, does. Because Stain was not part of the League, and he is pissed that he's remembered. And if the reason that everyone's going to the League is because of Stain, he is going to be
That is going to be interesting, because that's what it seems like it's leading into. And, like, I really
will scratch so far into his skin that he will get through to his neck.
That's going to be nasty. Festering Wound. Don't pick at that.
Don't pick at that.
Don't pick at that. Apples to apples. All right.
Yeah.
But, good times. I want to say I really liked the dynamic of how his ideals were going viral because of, like, the video that was online.
Yeah, definitely.
That was a really cool dynamic, and I definitely think that's an interesting way to, like, I guess, court or amass, like, the
kind of turn him into a, I don't know if this is the right word, but martyr.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he is the head of this new movement again. Probably gonna piss Facepalm off.
Well, what do you think of Stain's backstory too? Because we were able to find out.
Is it real? Is my first question.
Ooh.
And if it is, it makes sense.
I mean, they found his real name apparently, and so I imagine that like it was a real story. And
I guess it wouldn't be too hard to find a man without a nose on the internet. I mean, then again, you run into a lot of Voldemort pictures, but
it seems like I was more interested in that, like, he was kicked out of UA. Apparently, like he was there and then either was kicked out or left or something like that because of something or other, and then he tried to, like, spread his ideals and nobody was listening to him, so he tried to
stain
he tried to be a vigilante, what it seems, and then it turned into this, like, warped, nobody's a real hero type thing, and just ends up trying to take them all out.
Maybe the inciting incident was the death of his parents, because they did die. Either that or he killed them. They shut the case.
They kind of brushed over that a little bit too fast.
Yeah, they did.
Honestly, I don't know what to think. And it's weird because we didn't know a lot about Stain before this fight, and now after it feels like we're getting such a focus on him. But I guess it's because he kind of was that, like that, especially that moment at the end where he was like intimidating everybody.
Right.
Like, even the old guy, the short old guy, I can't remember his name, shoot.
Yoda.
Yeah, whatever.
Gran Torino.
Even he was, like, saying, that guy intimidated me. It reminded me of your charisma or something like that.
Yeah.
And so he was already predicting that if that gets out, which it did, that villains everywhere were going to start using that to kind of feed off of. And
and then we got to see interspliced visuals of a yandere Harley Quinn. And then, like, tons of other villains. There was, like, this Stain poser looking guy.
It was pretty exciting, actually. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So it feels like maybe with this, the villains will be getting a little more footing. I like the imagery of ants. One on its own is not going to do too much, but as a whole, they could do so much damage.
Yep.
And, I mean, this is probably leading to a pretty cool all-out brawl, and oh boy!
Yeah.
I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat it all up.
And besides that, I think the only other stuff we got was, like, some small bits and pieces of various of the classmates here and there.
And we're going to be getting even more next episode.
Yeah.
So says Suyu.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited to see what everyone else is doing.
I'm mainly excited to see more of Kirishima. And also, I feel so bad for the one that has the beauty hero.
No.
But I feel like she's going to learn something at the end that's going to, like, entirely change her mind about it.
Hopefully make a significant impact.
Yeah.
So that she can...
Because I like, again, she... Time and time again, her character feels snubbed, and it hurts me as a viewer, because all her stories are just, again, snubbed. Like, everything's cut off by the legs.
It's kind of intentional. Like, she is...
Yeah, exactly.
She's feeling that, like, this isn't where I should be. And I think it's not like... I don't think it's going to be that way forever. I think that they're kind of...
No, exactly.
Yes.
Like,
we're leading up to something there.
The people up at the top, or maybe in the center, I don't know, are doing this intentionally so that you can feel the frustration as well. And it's working.
Yes.
I am telling you, the producers and whoever's doing it, it's working, so you better go and fix it.
Yeah. Make sure the payoff happens. Make sure the payoff happens before the season is over, right? Like,
please.
That would be nice.
Yes, thank you. Please and thank you. And I think that's about it. That just about wraps up the episode.
Pretty much.
We've talked for almost as long as the episode was.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah. So, anyways, again, that's just about it. If you liked this episode, hit that like button. If you want to tell us what you thought about this episode, go into the comments down below and get to typing. Also, subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Dingle our dongle. Hit all the links in the description down below for all the links to our social medias. For the Go Mango Network and our individuals. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. See ya.
Plus outre.